There we go. Now I can hear you.
You can hear me,
I can
but we
hear
can't.
things. I got my new
You're all
Bluetooth.
good. You're all good because I can't
I'm all
see.
good. Breezy girl. There's a breezy girl. You
Okay,
can't see me?
so let's do this. Let's do this. Hold on one
Okay.
second. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna have you go out and come back in. It's on
Okay.
my end. So hold on. Hold on. Everybody hold tight. We're gonna work through our technical difficulties. Ha ha! There you are.
Can you see
Look
me
at
now?
you. Look at you. Looking spiffy and stuff.
I know it's
Man.
real early in the morning for me to look this good, so you're welcome. I did this all for you.
Oh, don't even try to. Don't even. You know what? You know what? Hey, you know what? If I was 15 or 20, 21, I would fall for that.
Yeah.
But because that I've already lived like a little over three scores or thereabouts. So I just want you to know I don't
Uh-huh.
fall for that. You did that for all those other women out there. If you did, see, if you
That's
got
right.
dressed
That's
for
right.
me, if you got dressed for me, you'd have on a t-shirt and some jeans and just be kicking it right now. So,
Yeah,
so.
well, it's business up front, it's casual on the bottom.
Oh, really? Hey, let me show you mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got your jammy pants on the
Yeah, I
bottom down
know.
there,
Hey,
like
hey.
everybody in the world these days.
Toy Story fans on. Toy Story pajamas on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep,
Uh,
I got
hey,
leggings on.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think it's not too many men that will be able to say, "Hey, look, I got leggings on." But most of them
That's right.
will admit that they have Toy Story pajamas on or something like that. I see
I have
Breezy's in the
I have
house there.
Christmas socks.
Look at you! Wow, look at you! You got this. Okay, you know what? We're scaring everybody else, but we don't care because
I don't care. No,
this yeah
I really don't.
yeah
This is
this
me, so it is what
there
it
it
is.
is. Which is why you're on
Yep,
the show. Which is
that's right.
why you're on the show.
Yep, and I love Breezy Girl.
Yeah,
I love
you know
her.
what?
She's fun.
I would love to just have her just do a dance off with just herself. Just
Right,
she should
right.
do
I
like
know.
she should
Yeah,
film one side of her doing a dance and then and just
the
compete
other.
against herself. And
Yeah, yeah.
everybody else has to vote. Everybody has to vote
hmm
against her.
Which one was
And
better? Yeah, two different styles, right? One dance style on
yes,
one side, another. Yep,
yes.
I think I agree.
But she should do an
Breezy,
entire
get
show
on that.
like that. Breezy, you should do an entire show like that in which you just
Yeah,
it's like five people competing and it's all her. And they just have these dance offs until they get to the final competition, like The Voice, and
yeah,
it's just but it's only her. Nobody else. It's just
yeah. Right, right. I would love that. I would watch that all
I
day.
would watch that. I will
Yep.
for one because it's her, for two because it's
hmm
free.
Yeah,
so
right. That's right. Yeah,
so
she's great.
this morning we decided to do this in the morning
hmm
because I knew that I was going to get to this moment in which yes, I was going to get to this moment in which I was going to run into some people near the end of the year of 2020 that I really
hmm
wanted to have on before the year was over with. And you were one of the people that I wanted to try to get on and try to find a time frame, a slot in between when I could actually get you on. It turned out to be this time of the morning.
Yeah, it worked out well. We managed to squeeze it in before I got busy for the next week. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was
that's
good.
right. Because
Yep.
you have a show out, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to make sure I say everything
Um,
correctly.
so I'm having a shoulder surgery. They're gonna mess up my pristine shoulder here. Sad about that. It's just apparently when you get older, extra bones grow. So I mean, I thought maybe I was growing my wings, my devil wings were coming in, but he assured me that was not the case. It's just that I'm over 40 now, and when you're over 40, extra bones grow in places that they don't need to be, so they're going to grind them down. So when I do this, it doesn't hurt anymore.
I
So
think
I want to be able to do this.
I think
And
it
so
was
that's what they're gonna do
possibly
too.
maybe your. Why don't we just give you angel wings? Why you got to go devil? Why you got to go down that road?
I'm a Scorpio. It's
You're
gotta
like,
be devil wings. I
okay. All right.
yeah, they
Let's
can't be angel wings.
let's do this. Let's try this. Let's just say, just hypothetical, just only here in this moment with me.
Uh-huh.
Let's
Okay.
say there's no such thing as Scorpio, and there's no
Uh-huh.
such thing as anything like that, and it's just
Uh-huh.
you're growing a narcissistic bone. That's the bone that they need to leave in to protect you, and
Yeah,
not
maybe.
Scorpio. But I mean, if you're gonna go that direction, you might as well say there's this narcissistic bone that's growing inside of me to protect me against
Yeah,
narcissists,
maybe. Well, that
and
could be.
maybe
Yeah.
they should leave it in. It's just a reminder for you not to get into a narcissistic relationship again.
Yeah, right. Well, so I had the same thing done on the other side, right? And
Oh,
when he
yeah.
showed me that, I had it on the other side. And apparently that was because my collarbone was broken when I was little, which
Wow.
my narcissistic mother doesn't recall this happening. So, good
Oh,
parenting
wow.
there. Um, but so it grew like this big talon hook off
Yeah,
the
I
end
bet.
of my shoulder, right? And I'm like, that's really cool. I said, can you just cut that out? Like, I want to make that into a necklace, right? It was this big hook. And he's like, well, I could, but I don't know. I'm like, I really want to do that. Please, will you let me keep it? He's like, no. My
No
surgeon
comment.
wasn't very nice to me. I thought that would be pretty neat. But I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. It hurts for real bad for about a week, and then it's okay. But it just grind it down, and it's easy peasy. But yeah, I wondered the first time I found out about it. I'm like, well, this was from the narcissist way back in the day, not being a great parent, and now it shows proof throughout your body, right? Like when you're stuck with those people for so long, it takes a toll on your body and your mind, and physically and mentally and emotionally all throughout, and your body holds the emotion of these traumas that we go through, right? And that's how some of it manifests. It could be extra pains here and there. It could be a lot of times it's stomach problems and intestinal problems because you're so nervous all the time. I have a real nervous stomach, now, and it's it's unfortunate. But if you're aware of it and you can keep it in your mind, right, and remind yourself this is old traumas, this is past things. I can get through this. It'll get better. And then you can kind of release it over time, the energy of that kind of stuff. And you can eventually move through it. But in my opinion, being aware of those things is the main battle to overcome, right? You're aware of it. You know it's there. You know the reason it's there. Once you realize these things and you realize, okay, this is because of this relationship I had or this person, then it seems to just kind of dissipate on its own a little bit too. Once you get to that reality and you're accepting of that reality that, oh, this is because of this relationship or this person. Now I have this issue. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. We talked
No,
about this. I just got to
no,
go
no.
off on my tangent.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? Um,
Huh?
so that the three people that are going to be watching this will know.
Yeah.
We did a pre-show, did we not? Same day, and then we
Yep.
talked
Mhm.
later, a
Mhm.
few hours after one of my shows, and then we kept talking. So
For
so
like
it's
2
kind of
hours.
like you're in your wheelhouse where we were in that second part where you're just
Yeah.
going and you're just so,
I
but
just
that's
yeah.
okay. For me that's just fine.
Mhm.
I have like 200 questions from just the little bit you've said.
Go
I
ahead.
want
Shoot.
to ask you. I want to ask you, but I'm enjoying what you're saying.
Good.
But
Yeah.
but
I
okay. So I'm gonna ask this. Well, first I'm gonna say this. You just described what's taking place in regards to your shoulder,
mhm.
but you also have a show that you're going to be doing as well, a podcast. Yes or no? Am I saying that
Yeah,
right?
we're talking about my friend of mine. Um, I'll not name her. She likes to be anonymous with things,
Yes,
but
yes,
she
yes.
helps. She helps me with
She's in witness.
the other
She's in
page.
witness protection. She's in witness
She's in
protection.
witness
Yes,
protection. Yep,
yes,
yep.
right.
So we,
Podcast witness protection. Yes.
yeah, so we keep her anonymous.
So,
She helps me with some things. We run the Red Flag Finder web page or podcast. you know what I'm saying, Instagram page.
Yeah. Yes.
So she helps me. She does like the quote posts and things. And then I do the crappy dating profile posts because those are fun. Um, but so she helps me, and we've been talking the last couple months about doing a podcast with the two of us talking, and then we've been talking about me doing videos, just myself with me talking about things because I have a lot to say on a lot of things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's just even
Yes.
my my
Yes.
daily things, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, and credit to Breezy. Um, I I never would have thought about doing videos myself before because I get too nervous, right? I'm like, who gives a crap what I have to say, right? I mean, nobody cares.
I do.
That's what you
I
think,
do.
right? I mean, right? I'm just
Me.
here
Me.
in the
Me. Me.
Midwest.
Me.
You know, you don't really think sometimes that what you say or what you have to say maybe is worth of any value to anybody. And you know, and then I come across Breezy's little Instagram page where she's dancing around all over, and she doesn't give a f what anybody thinks, right? And I'm like, I love this girl so much, and she inspired me to do videos because I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't care what people think. I just don't care. I feel like I should do it, and I feel like I want to do them and do podcasts and
You look
videos.
at the. You
And
need to look.
so,
You need to. You need to look at the screen because somebody's telling you something.
Phoebe. I love her. She
Okay.
makes
Go
my
ahead.
day. She does. I see her videos dancing around. I just smile. It
That's
makes my
very.
day.
That's very sweet. It's very sweet what she
And
said.
I don't, you know, and I don't even know her, right? Like we don't know each other, but it's it's funny the people that inspire you to do things, just random people out of nowhere, right? And I mean, and that Instagram page, the Red Flag Finder page, it's been up since October 1st, right? It's literally that was the first day, and it started off as a joke with my girlfriends, you know, like, oh, look at this crap I got, look at this stupid message I got, this is crazy, right? Um, and my other friend, she's like, oh, you should make an Instagram page, you know, people will love that, that's funny, and I'm like, okay, you know, so I did, and God, we're almost at 700 followers since October 1st. It's blowing my mind,
Look at that. Yeah.
but you know, and then we wanted to not just have all the negative crap too, right? So that's why we started making the quote posts too, to try to be a little more inspirational and a little more uplifting here and there because we all need a little positive things once in a while, right? It can't be all
Yeah.
negative.
Sure.
Uh, so so her and I, we sit and we talk. She's in a different country, a different part of the world, and so we talk late at night, and we'll be like, oh, that's a good quote. Oh, write that down. Oh, say that again. You know, because we'll just be talking, and say something, and it turns out well, and so that's where most of our quotes come from now. Is just us rambling on, two ladies talking about things. And it's nice. It's been fun. It's been different. I didn't expect this a few months, 6 months ago. I wouldn't have expected that. You know.
Six
So,
months
but
ago.
this is a direction. Yeah, 6 months ago, I would have been like, oh, that's not the direction I'm going in. You know, to be wanting to put myself on video on Instagram, talking to people about relationships and
Yeah.
high life after divorce. You know, I never thought I'd be doing that, but I believe that you follow your passion, right? A lot of people believe that follow your passion and good things are going to happen. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do
Yeah.
good things
I
with.
I deliberately named I name all my segments. I treat all my parts in interviews uh, uh, I want to say like my children to a certain
Mm-hmm,
degree, except they get treated better. That's at least that's my opinion. I'm quite sure they would
mm-hmm,
tell me different. But I name my children, so I name the segments. I name each interview that I'm going to do. I name it.
mm-hmm.
This one I named Mel in the Morning
Yeah,
because I had a feeling from our talking that if you came on in the morning, you would do nonstop talking.
I could do that nighttime too.
Okay,
Nighttime or daytime,
you
I could
know,
do target.
we could do something that I do have in the works, but it's supposed to be for 2021. We could practice it, and I was going and it's midnight shows. I was going to do it, and you could be the first one. It could be Mel at midnight, and
There we go. That's got a good
so
ring to it.
Mel at
Now at
midnight.
midnight.
And
Yep.
we'll just talk about your shows, that your guests and who you have on and the different
Yeah,
subjects and
yeah.
stuff like that. So you know, you get your shows, more and more shows under your belt. We can have like just it's something I'm going to be doing for next year. Different people that have shows, we're just going to get together and talk about the guests and different experiences and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
be
that'd be
ready.
fun.
I would be happy for you to be the first one. We call it Mel at Midnight,
Yay.
and
Yay.
I'll have music guests and a number of other things and other stuff.
That'd
And
be
Mel will
fun.
come on, and you'll just do your thing. You just
Hmm. I'll
matter of
just
fact,
ramble.
that will be your thing. Every time you come on, you will just do this, and I'll just say, okay, Mel's here to raise the roof. Everything else is Naomi standard. Mel's in the house. All right,
Right.
so are you ready for now that the audience has fell in love with you and everybody, you know, is gonna take you from 700 followers to 22,000. So it's gonna
That'd
happen.
be okay.
It's gonna happen.
That'd be all
Okay,
right.
so I get to have a little fun now
Yeah, go for it. I'm
in
ready.
a different way. I was having fun already because I can sit and just listen to you talk. We we've done our
We've had plenty of talks.
yeah, I was gonna say, we've done our soapbox and the world needs to no, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right,
And
right. Yeah. Yeah, I get on my
narcissism.
soapbox too.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to. We're about to have some fun here because you're about to get on your soapbox. Don't kick the soapbox under the bed or
Yeah,
under the
right,
couch.
right. I
So
I'm gonna try not to curse. I'm sorry, people, if I curse. I'm trying. We had this discussion in our pre-interview. Uh,
I I have full confidence that you're going to do whatever you're going to do.
I
I
try to
have
be respectful of others,
I
right? So I
have
try not to curse too much.
It's just that so everyone understands. For one, I have virgin ears. For two, I've had a request from people. I don't. My show is not based upon clicks, views, followers. You know,
Hmm.
it doesn't mean anything to me. What means something to you know, whether one or two people drop off, people don't follow me. That's their choice. That's welcome to America, or being a
Hmm.
human. But people do request that people they want to watch the show with no profanity in front of their
Right,
kids, but they play it a lot of
right.
times in front of their kids. So
Yep.
to
And
that,
that's why I'm
I
trying to be
try to
mindful.
acquiesce, but I always tell my guests, just be yourself.
Hmm.
So I'm not worried about that part. What I'm concerned about is that I'm going to ask you something, and you're going to look at me and go like, "What are you asking me that for?"
No,
That
no.
is
I could talk about anything. You can ask me whatever you want.
don't even
I can talk
you
about
know
anything.
you should know who you're saying that to, and I don't think
Hey,
you're fully aware of the
I
stuff
don't
that I
think you're
said.
fully aware. I don't think you're fully
Of
aware,
what you
buddy.
were
Yeah,
saying.
you try me. Everybody that knows
Let,
me knows I can talk about
let's get
anything.
it. As Marvin Gaye
Let's
would
get
say,
it out.
let's get it on.
Get it out.
Let's get it. All right, so here
I'm
we
ready.
go. Look, no notes, no notes.
All right.
Totally up
Yep.
here.
No.
Okay,
Yep. No notes.
just like what we were
We didn't
talking in the
pre-discuss
pre-show.
this. Yeah,
Here we
that's
go.
right.
All right, I I want to know
Hmm.
what year you started to recognize what time of your life, preferably what year, you started to recognize that you had your caregivers didn't treat you that good, that you had narcissism affecting your growth as a human being.
Um. I would say probably around 5 or 6.
What
Yeah.
what what seemed off to you? Was it your mom? Was it your dad? Real quick, who was it first of all, or was it a
So
combination?
it was my mother. I didn't meet my dad till I was 7.
Okay,
So my mother and I lived with my grandparents when I was young, and my grandmother was always taking care of me, right? And I remember one of my very specific early childhood memories is when I was attacked by a dog walking home back to the house, because back in those days you could be 5 years old and out playing
no,
down the
no,
street, nobody
yeah,
cared, right? And so I was walking home and I cut through this neighbor's yard, and I didn't notice that their big German Shepherd was outside. And the dog wasn't trying to hurt me. He was just trying to play with me, but I thought I was being attacked by a dog. I was 5. And he knocked me down, and he, scratched me all up and everything. And I ran home and I was crying. And my mother was downstairs watching television. And I remember my grandmother yelling at her to come up and at least check on me, because my grandma's trying to clean me up. And I remember my grandmother being upset with her for not caring enough to even come up the stairs and stop watching television to come up and check on me. So that's when I remember specifically knowing something wasn't right with my mother, you know, because my grandmother was always feeding me, cooking for me, playing with me, talking to me, loving on me, hugging me, you know, and my mother wasn't, you know, so it was, she made me feel like a burden, you know, when she did have to cook for me or something. And then we moved out of my grandparents' house when I was a kid. And then it became my job to take care of her. So I had to then take care of her.
Your job to take care of your grandmother?
My mother.
Your mother, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So my mother and I moved into a different duplex. And I had to take care of my mother. She's always mentally ill, you know, always couldn't get out of bed, always needing me to console her, take care of her, try to be her friend, get her to get up so she would feed me, you know. So many memories of that kind of stuff. Her laying in bed crying for days and days. You know, I'm a child, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old. That's not my job, right? But it was my job. It was my job. So I am the perpetual caretaker now. You know, that's how it evolved in my life. And so that's how I ended up with a lot of narcissistic men, because I'm the perpetual caretaker, right? So that's how it shows itself. When you're raised to think that it's your job to take care of other people, you end up taking care of other people, right? Other people that don't deserve you and don't deserve that. And it's also codependent too, right? I was raised to be codependent also, you know, in this cycle of back and forth. And
I
it's
have
hard
to
to
add.
break.
I have
Yeah.
to add. There is no. I'm actually going to piggyback something you just said it right before I was going to ask my question. So, does it seem like it's a continuous cycle of being a caregiver?
Oh yeah.
And what part of your life, if you had to say two things, what part of your life since the age of 6 up till today, because you're only 28, up to today,
right. 26.
You let me message you. I'm just okay. So I know you're 29, but so from the age of 6 up till now, what part of your life? Name two things. What part of your life do you feel you missed out on? What areas of your life do you feel you missed out on because your caregivers were not capable of being positive caregivers to you? What part of your life do you feel you've missed out on or didn't take full advantage of?
So the biggest thing that comes to mind when you ask me that is I feel like the biggest thing I missed out on was knowing that I could do anything or you know, that I would accomplish goals. I never was given that opportunity to believe in myself when I was little. I was always knocked back down, right? Anytime I would be excited about anything, or I would come home and say, "Oh, Mom, guess what I want to be when I grow up?" You know, we had this person come to school and talk about this job and that job and whatever. Oh, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not smart enough to do that. You have to go to way too much school for that. You don't like school. You're not good at school. You're not going to be able to finish that. I mean, it was my whole life. It was constant, right? So I was never given the opportunity to be excited about anything or to believe that I could do anything. And that has greatly affected my life. Right?
How is that? How has it affected your life? So if somebody's listening to this and they say, actually Breezy just said it on the screen, sounds like my mom. So if somebody's listening to this, what do you mean by that? How is it affected?
Well, so here's what I've learned through lots of therapy, right? This is what I've noticed about myself. Whenever I get excited about something now as an adult, I get excited for a day or two, and then I talk myself out of it, and then I quit every time, right? And that is because I was never allowed to be excited about anything when I was young. I was always knocked back down, told I couldn't do it. So now I abuse myself in the same cycle, because now I get excited about something. Then I start to talk myself out of it, tell myself I'm not smart enough to do it, or I'm not going to be able to do it, or I'm not going to be able to figure it out. And then I quit.
So I gotta tell you this one only because you're bringing that up. We're gonna end up duplicating our conversations that we've had in the pre-show because I want to jump in the way we were talking then.
Sure.
So I have 3 children. My oldest son, he used to tell me what you just said, that sometimes he, and then he talks himself out of it. Similar situation. He didn't get a lot of support from his mom at the time, who's not my wife anymore, but and I got custody of my kids, and so he told me that, and I told him something my father told me, and I'm just passing this on to you. That's why I said this is kind of like the pre-show thing. We just actually were just going back and forth. We're actually being very nice to each other right now. We're being show-like right now. but what was so interesting is he said that to me, similar to what you just said. And I thought of what my father told me, and you said it right now, and it made me think of what my dad said. He said, son, he told me this, and I told my son, I said, look, this is what you do. He says, you take 3 days, 72 hours. He said 72 hours. He said, you like a girl? Give it 72 hours and really just don't try to pursue it, and just let it be. He says, when the 3rd day comes along, he said, day 1, you'll be excited. Day 2, you're going to second guess yourself. He says, don't quit on day 3. He says, when you get to day 3, he says, you're going to come up with a whole new idea, either what you're going to go buy her, how you're going to see her. He says, the same thing with the job. It's going to be exciting the first day. The second day, you're going to second guess and go like, what am I doing here? They're going to fire me. And then the 3rd day, you're going to go like, man, these people need me. The 3rd day, you go, hey, these people, they should have hired me a long time ago. And he said, life is like that. Give it 72 hours. He says, and you'll be surprised what happens when you get to day 4. By the time day 4, you're totally moving in a whole different direction. Yeah, 73 days. 3 days makes a difference when we have not been in a pattern of having somebody support us. He told me that because he was an only child. So he said he always had to find he had to be self-generated and self-motivated because he never really got support from like siblings or other, close friends. He had to motivate himself. And you have a situation in which right now in your life, based upon the things you were telling me, you have some goals in mind. You have some things you're trying to accomplish right now to help other people and to grow as a woman.
Yeah, and that's what keeps me motivated, right? Is because I want to help other people not make the same mistakes that I make, right? Or that I've made, or especially the younger folks, right? There's a group that I'm in on Facebook, and it's about posts, about bad things that men say, right? And
wait, what was that again? What's the name of it again?
The group on Facebook, it's Why Are Men? It's a Facebook group where people post screenshots of these comments that these guys make, or women too, mostly the men, but not man bashing. I don't hate men. I'm just saying that's the group. But
hey, you better not hate men. Did you not just go out on a date?
I don't. I did. I did. I had a nice.
I was gonna bring that up later, but
date.
you can't be man bashing. So you can't.
Right? No. I had a nice social distance date. We took a nice little walk.
Wait, no, you can't segue to that now. I'm sorry, I brought that up. I should have did it. We can't do.
My ADD's kicking in.
On the pre-show, we were just tangenting back. We were going all over the place. We have.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah, keep me on task. Yeah, so there's this Facebook group.
I should have brought it up. Go ahead.
No, don't distract me, man.
Yeah.
The cute boys distract me. So there's this group, and I see these young gals in there, right? 16, 17, 18, young ladies. And they post these screenshots, and they're like, oh my gosh, should I be upset about this? Is this normal? Am I okay for being upset about this? I'm like, honey, oh my God, yes, be upset about this is bull, and the fact that they don't understand that it's inappropriate behavior, right?
Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
It hurts my soul for them, right? It does. It hurts my soul. that
But
they that they
look at their
feel
situation though. Look at their
well
situation. They may
well right
be
and
similar to yours or worse,
right yeah and
and
I have
they have no
exactly
clue. They have no clue
yeah
that that's like he should not be talking to you that way. I mean, it's just
exactly
like
yeah exactly
unacceptable. It's
yeah
unacceptable.
exactly. And that's why we want to point it out, and that's the purpose of the red flag finder page, right? I just want to point it out, and I'm not, who am I, right? I'm not some learned expert that knows everything. I know what BS is when I see
Hey,
it a
hey, you
lot of
got
times, right?
you got is what I like to say. Matter of fact, you might want to market this one. You got a PhD, and no, I can't say that. I just said no curse. No, I'm just joking. I wasn't going to. So
I got a PhD in BS.
You got a PhD in life. You got a PhD in life experience.
Yeah,
So
well, and I've been in every type of relationship. I think every type of abusive relationship with parents and with significant others and friends, and I've learned a considerable amount of red flags, and I ignored so many to my own detriment. Even in my last relationship, I ignored red flags right from the start. But I just, we always want to give everybody the damn benefit of the doubt. And I'm so sick of that, right? Like,
did you
why? Why do
did
we
you
feel obligated to do that?
okay? So did you find yourself reconciling your emotions with your mom or reconciling with your mom, whatever the case may be? Did you find yourself giving your mother the benefit of the doubt?
You know what I did until I was 40 years old. That was 5 years ago now. I was 40 years old. And that's when I actually learned that she was officially diagnosed as a narcissistic personality disorder when I was young. And I had no
How
idea.
wait, how and when did that happen?
I was, I think, around 14 or 15, maybe, when she went and had a psychological evaluation done. And I remember when she went and had that done because I don't know why she needed it done, for what purpose, but I remember that she had to have it done. And I remember she got the letter, the big envelope in the mail with this
Really?
10
Wow.
page this 10-page report about her
Wow.
personality disorder. And she was so angry. She was so angry. She ripped it up and threw it out. But
Wow.
then, but I didn't know at the time what it was, what they said. I knew she was mentally ill.
Right.
She was clearly mentally ill, but I thought she had bipolar or not bipolar, manic depressive
Manic depression.
is what they
Manic
called
depression.
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what they called it back then. Because she was always manic. She was always up and down, and so that's what I thought. But then when I was 40, her and I were talking, and she says, well, yeah, he diagnosed me with narcissism way back when you were young, and I just embraced it. That's just who I am. And I'm like, oh, that that explains so much. Oh my God.
Wait, you were like,
Because I was constantly trying to help her. Constantly. Right? I was constantly, Mom, take your meds. Mom, you gotta take your meds. Mom, you can't stop taking your meds just because you want to cleanse, right? You can't do that. Um and so I never it blows my mind because I knew a lot about narcissism at this point. I've researched quite a bit from different relationships, and I never put two and two together that she was a narcissist. I never did.
never? Wait,
Never. I never.
never?
No, I never. No, not until she
Okay,
told me.
you were like way giving your mom benefit of the doubt. It was like
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
it wasn't.
I,
So
I
go ahead.
well, she was always depressed, and I really just thought it was manic depression. I really just thought that was it because she was up and down and up and down and up and down. So now, mother narcissists are very different manipulators than a boyfriend narcissist, right? They're very different.
Okay, wait, time out. This is gonna be fun.
Hmm. Okay.
I love my guests, everybody, because they always are like 20 steps ahead of me. It's like, how do they know where I'm going? And I have no
Yeah.
notes. I'm just free flowing, just like with our conversation
Hmm.
before. And you're going exactly where I wanted this to go. Those
Hmm.
two different roads
Hmm.
with you in the middle. So there's three different directions in front of you. There's a
Hmm.
direction that you need to live your life. There's a direction your mom's leading hers. And there's a direction
Hmm.
of the relationships you've been in that are narcissistic and are
Hmm.
abusive. I know what I didn't do. I didn't keep an eye on the clock. Okay, now I got okay. So three different roads in front of you. Three different roads in front of you.
Hmm.
You need to live your life. Most people do. All of
Hmm.
us, our life is gonna go in whatever direction our mind and our heart take us in. and our decision making. But your mom has her life. Here's the life of a narcissistic abusive person that you take into a relationship. What road was your mom taking you on? What road was she moving you down? And how did it affect you up to the age of 40, 45?
Well, to constantly have to take care of her. To constantly have to fix her problems.
Okay, so constantly have to fix her problems and take care of her. Somebody's going through that right now. 16, 17-year-old girl, young like you were, 10. So that means that person's not taking care of themselves. So
you don't.
So your journey was kind of stunted, and her path was taken over your path, where you weren't able to grow as a person. So what advice would you give to somebody that's going through it right now, because you're the red flag finder, that they need to really, no, I'm just saying, a young woman, young guy, they need to really take a serious hard look at where they are so that they can protect themselves in their future with someone who puts them in a position where they always got to fix stuff for them and take care of stuff for them. Now they're losing their teenage years. I'm just setting up the premise and buying you some time to answer.
Well, and so a lot of times.
What would you say?
Let me think. So I would say, if you find yourself in a situation where your parent is constantly needing you to spend time with them and give them reassurance and make them feel better, if you constantly feel like if you are responsible for their feelings, that is not your job. You are the child. It is not your job, period. I don't care. You are the child. I'm the child of my mother still. It is still not my job to make her feel better, right? But especially if you are a child, it is not your job, honey. It isn't your job. It is abusive to make your child responsible for your feelings. It is abusive. And if they feel like they can't go be with their friends because they have to stay home with their mother, or they have to take care of their drunk dad, right? So they can't go be with their friends. They can't go have a life. They can't go be with that boyfriend. They can't go to that school dance. They can't do this or that because they're too worried about what their parents is going to do. That is BS, right? That is no way to have a life. That is not their job, period. It isn't. They need to then try to find a counselor at school or a therapist or somebody that they can talk to try to break that cycle early, because let me tell you what, you're going to end up being 40 still worried about your mother's feelings or your dad's drinking or whatever it is, right? And it is not your damn job. It isn't your job. I promise you.
And then in the 40s, you're going to be needing a counselor, and you're going to be
I've been in therapy since I was 21 years old.
Wow.
21 years old. I go to therapy. I'm not ashamed to say that. I think everybody should go to therapy. To an extent, right? I think that constant retelling of traumas does not help people. I think that just re-abuses you. But I think you do need to speak about traumas to try to deal with them. But so certain talk therapy I don't necessarily agree with. If you stay in the same place. I think if you're moving forward and taking steps to move forward, that is good. And that's the kind of therapy people should be in, or a life coach or whatever. Now, listen, if you're going to have a life coach, please make sure that they're decent. So many people can get certified as a life coach these days, and no offense to anybody that is, because that's, I'm going for certifications in NLP myself, but make sure that they have a lot of clients under their belt and a lot of hours of service under their belt, because you can mess people up if you don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful. But yeah, these young folks, or even if they're pushed into playing sports or instruments that they don't want to play, that's still abusive, in my opinion. Other people have different opinions about that. But I still personally think that that's abusive, to force somebody to do something that they desperately don't want to do because you want them to, even as the parent, right? I think there's a fine line there when it comes to pushing kids into sports and pushing kids into instruments and things. I think kids need to learn those things. But if you're doing it because you want them to, because you didn't do it when you were growing up and you wish you would have, like, what is your motive? That's the key right there, is the motive behind the reason why you're pushing kids to do things. But it, especially for women, girls, and I mean, I shouldn't say that, because there's a lot of mama's boys out there too that are forced to take care of their mothers, right? Or they're made to feel guilty if they don't. The mothers rely too much. So here's something that I figured out. Just the other day, I was talking to my friend, and we were going through. We're trying to break down the narcissism, right? Like where we start to see it originally in relationships. And I noticed a recurring pattern for me, for the people that I've dated. I'm not saying this is everybody, but the people that I've dated, all of them, the men had to take care of their mothers growing up. Their mothers were always in an abusive relationship of some sort. They always had to take care of the mother, and they always had to be the comedian to take care of the mother, to make her laugh, to make her feel better, right? And then they end up growing up to be so angry. And it appears that they have a deeper hatred for women because of these things. And it just seems to be a recurring pattern with the narcissists that I've been with. And there's been a few. I'm not going to point anybody out specifically. You all know who you are, or you don't, actually.
Can you do me a favor? Can I just have just a couple of names so I can go talk to them?
Right. I'll message you. I'll DM you.
No, I just want to be able to put their pictures up, just for.
Yeah, right. Oh gosh, some days I tell you what, people should be thankful that I am a lady, right? And that I'm not going to blast you out on Instagram right now.
No, I saw your switchblade. I don't know about that lady stuff. You.
I deleted a lot of my Instagram posts on my Changing Emotions page. I deleted a lot of my angry breakup posts because they serve their purpose, right? You got to get it out, and you got to post things and be mad, and you got to get it out. I'm not about slamming anybody.
I have to ask the question now. So what purpose exactly did they serve again? So what purpose was it? The angry post? I just want to.
Oh, because I got to get it out.
I know what the answer. What's the answer?
I got to get it out. I just because I got to get it out. You got to get it out. I know you love it when I say that. I got to get it out. The anger. I got to get it out.
I love when you said that. That's why I said it, because I want you to say it. I got to get it out. That's why we're doing this.
Well, and here's the thing. So this made me angry, and I love my friends, my real life friends, not just my internet friends. My real life friends, I love them, and they love me, and they want the best for me. But you know what? My real life friends. But I made a post on Facebook where I just have my real life friends and some of my family, and I was complaining about my last relationship, and they're like, oh, I just really hope you can get over this soon. I'm like, how about F off? I'm dealing with some things right now, and how about you say to me, I'm sorry you're going through some things. How can I help you? Right? Instead of going, oh, I'm tired of seeing your whiny ass. Can you please not post this anymore? I mean, because that's what it translates to when you're in that mood, right? It's like, I'm sorry if you don't appreciate the fact that I'm going through some things, but I'm going to go through some things, and I work through things in my own way. And this is how I work through them, by going, look at this bull ass, right? Look at this. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm 45. I'm past the point where I care.
So let me see if I understand this correctly.
Yeah.
You were posting because you were going through stuff, and you were working your way through stuff, and there were people who were not your internet friends, but they were your real life friends. My real
people that I know in real life. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I understand so the real life friends told you you need to cut that out, and your internet friends were the ones going like, "Yay for you!"
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So
isn't that funny? It's funny how that works.
right now, where you are right now in life, right now,
Mm-hmm.
you actually, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you still got to get it out, where
Mm-hmm.
are you on this scale about I got to get it out? One
Oh
being,
well, that changes
it,
every day.
okay,
It depends. It
I didn't
changes
expect that
every
answer.
hour.
I didn't, I didn't expect that answer. I thought you were going to say something else. Okay, so it's
No.
changing. It's constantly
Mm-hmm.
changing. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing is for sure, you're trying to help other people so that they don't
Yeah.
step in the same pile of stuff that you stepped in.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think, I just want to be authentic, right? And we all have emotions, and we all get nasty sometimes, and we all get whiny sometimes, and we all get depressed sometimes, and there's no shame in that, right? And I don't care if somebody doesn't want to hear me complain today. They know where the block button is. You know what I mean? I am not here to make other people happy. I'm not. I don't care.
You know what?
Um,
You're gonna have a really great show when you guys do your show. That's what I was, just listening to your girl. Like, man, your show's gonna have that right amount of compassion, empathy, and edge to it.
yeah.
It's gonna have that right amount of all of those elements. But more importantly, you're gonna give when people tune into your show, they're
Hmm.
going to know, especially a young female, is going
Hmm.
to understand that somebody understands her. The
Yeah.
part of you that makes the part of you that I love to hear when you get into it. You've done it already 3 different times. For the
Hmm.
sake of time, I don't have time to go back and tell you each moment. But you have the ability to say what you're saying, but you're very understanding of
Hmm.
what someone else is going through. And what you do by being understanding is the template. It is the standard that you want back.
Hmm.
The same degree that you are understanding, you want that same degree back. But what's so beautiful about you as a human being is that you can give people more understanding than they give you back.
Hmm.
That is just who you are, Mel, and who you are. You can't
Yeah.
get to talk. You don't get to talk now. I already let you talk. This is the part where I take over the show. So
Okay.
I tell everybody in the pre-show. There's a moment where I take over the show, and it means you just get to
Yeah.
sit there and listen. And they go like, "Wow, you're so
Hmm.
narcissistic." Whatever. So yeah, so it's my show. So I was gonna say that part of you is so great, and because you're like that, I have to
Hmm.
have a commercial break because I'm up against the clock. And now you know that's why I do that. I take over
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
up against the clock. But I need to. I'm not even close to what I want to talk about because I do have
Sure.
something for you over here but
Uh-oh.
I just love listening to you and what you're saying because you're dissecting the background of
Hmm.
what leads a man or a woman, we're talking about
Hmm.
females right now, toward a narcissistic relationship. You've
Hmm.
just laid out some of the groundwork that leads to that. People don't just
Yeah.
stumble into these things. There is
Hmm.
somebody, a sibling, a parent, a mom or dad, an uncle. There's somebody they work with.
Hmm.
There's somebody that moves them in that particular direction.
Direction.
There's
Yeah. Yeah.
someone,
And that.
and
Yeah.
they
That's.
become, right. You understand? So I want to delve
Hmm.
into that from your
Sure.
perspective and your advice. Uh, yes, you may
Hmm.
not have 10, 20 years or something of schooling, but
Hmm.
you got a number of years of hands-on experience. You've
I
been
have
an
40
intern.
years with
You've been an
narcissists.
intern in the school of life dealing with narcissism,
Hmm.
and didn't
Hmm.
get paid for it. So you were an
Right.
intern. You're an unpaid intern who was
I
sitting
know.
there
Yeah.
taking
Who
it.
took that job? That
Yeah,
was
I know.
dumb.
Wait, no, you didn't even volunteer for the job. They
No,
gave
I
you this.
know.
You got
I was
enlisted.
handed it. I was
Yeah.
forced
All right.
upon.
So I'm going to take a break here.
Good.
And I'm going
I
to
need a
reboot
break
this
too.
whole thing, and I'll be right
Okay.
back. And it gives me enough time to shave my legs and put some makeup on, and I'll be right back for
Well,
everybody.
you got to be pretty like me. Come on now.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yes, we'll be right
You just
back.
call me ugly. Would you just call me? Oh, that's just bad.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
so
cry.
cute.
All right, I'll be right back.
Don't
Thank you,
cry.
everybody. Everybody, join us back in a minute. I'll be right back. Mel and I will be right back. Mel in the morning. We'll be here in just a moment. Be right back.
We'll be back.